deep.
I'm Shar, and you are tuning in to Homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
Okay, what's up, y'all? So this is episode number one. I can't ever get right every time. Look, so this is episode 189 of the Homeroom Smooth podcast called Racist Babies. All right. I know what you're thinking. Are these babies racist? Possibly. Okay. Possibly. No, but on a real serious note, side note. So there's a couple clips on the intro like that are literally filler. Like because I had nothing else that I could add there and the transitions weren't working right. Now it's like I'm just gonna add these. like and I was just like, it worked. Yeah, it's filler. But Shark, take it away. You start us off. Matter of fact, wait, first of all, God damn it, how you been?
I'm great. I started off the new year full speed ahead. There's content going out every day on my social media account for my business, CJB_marketing. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Wait, where is this account at? You just said a social media account. You gotta say where it's at. You can't just plug into the space.
Instagram. So on Instagram, CJB_marketing. I have content going out every day. I own a social media agency. So my goal this year, so far, is to have a post go out every single day. So far, so good.
Oh, let me tell you about that, man. That mess is stressful, man. I'm not even gonna cap with you.
It's very stressful. There's been days I wanted to. There's been days I wanted to throw in a towel and say forget this, but I have goals in mind. I really want to huge following on there and be like showcase my expertise because eventually I want to host workshops on Instagram and classes and stuff like that. So you gotta stay committed.
Oh, now fun fact. I am doing a wealth motivational speech thing in Little Rock, Arkansas. I don't know why I say speech thing, but it's a motivation. I'm a speaker. I'm a guest speaker.
Okay.
It's in March 17th in Little Rock, Arkansas at the Billionaire something event center. What else is there? My topic is either going to be consistency or failure. I keep going back and forth. I need to let her know tomorrow in the morning. I need to let her know and finish my bio.
Okay, so here's my question: if you were to talk about failure, what direction would you go in with that?
Going with failure. So if I'm talking about failure, I'm talking about how you fell into success. I'm talking about not being afraid to fail and about learning from learning from failure. Because when people hear that word, they automatically assume the worst, but actually no, failing is a good thing. And it's better to fail early than it is to fail late, because when you fail later on in life, you don't build up the character necessary to bounce back. Because you see a lot of times this happens with people that are one-hit wonders as artists. The reason they're one-hit wonder is not because they didn't do it again. They couldn't do it again. It's just they didn't know how to process the next 4 songs not working, because they only experienced, I produced this one record and it took off. Let me just ride this, and then it doesn't work out like that. But all the artists that you have, all the big artists that you have here today, you know what I'm saying? Nobody talks about the Beyonce records that weren't good that she released back in the day. Nobody talks about those. Nobody talks about the old Drake records. Nobody does. Nobody talks about the old Michael Jackson songs, although Michael Jackson is an exception. Everything has been really good for the most part, by and large. He's an exception. There's very few people that are exceptional in that regard. Everybody else built their way into this, and they have a proven track record. And if you want to become something, then you have to model yourself after somebody, or at least study other similar people and then break down for yourself, okay, so here's what they did, and here's how they reached these milestones. All right, can I set up a similar plan for myself and what's realistic? And once you have realistic goals for yourself, you know what I'm saying, you can pretty much fail your way there. That's
True.
my speech in a nutshell.
All
Uh,
right.
how the heck did I just do that? But anyway, I've been over here struggling in my head, but then once I got asked the question, it was like done. Um, very interesting. Thank you, Shar. But anyway, our topic for today is not that. Our topic is racist babies. So go ahead, take us away. Take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the racist word of this sentence, or two phrase, or whatever. Yeah, but I wanted to focus on how the governor of Florida came out and said he is going to ban African American Studies class from Florida high schools. So I just want to read like a little clip. Basically, so he rejected a new advanced placement of course in African American Studies from being taught in high school campuses. He argues that the course violates state law and lacks educational value. Let's see. He officially banned the course in a letter from the state education department to the college board. Let's see, I'm just giving you all background on this because I think this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just absolutely wild. And I think it's wild because here's the thing. You want to ban African American studies and say that it has no educational value. Meanwhile, growing up in school, we discussed everything else. We discussed the Holocaust. We discussed there's like a lot of different
World War I, World War II.
Yeah, and there's a lot of groups of minorities that we discuss in school. So why is it that out of all of those minority groups, African American studies has no educational value? And on top of that, it's a part of history. It's a part of what happened. And not to add, you being a white man, it's what your ancestors decided to make history. If it wasn't for your ancestors, there wouldn't have been no slavery. We wouldn't have to talk about it in school. But let me not go and keep going. My point is, I think this is just absolutely insane. I mean, Florida's governor is always on 10 anyway. So after he said that, some Black leaders called for action. So he came back out. Okay, he came back out and basically said he supports banning the course from being offered to some high school students because it lessens. Basically, he doesn't want to delve too far into political agendas, broaching topics such as queer studies and abolishing prisons. I'm sorry, what?
Huh? Wait. Run that back. Hold on. Where's that at?
Hey, look at the second article I've sent you. I'm sorry. So he's saying that he wants to ban African American studies because it's gonna bring up discussions of queer studies and abolishing prisons. So you just told us that when you hear the word African American, the first two things that come to your mind is queer and prison. And let me add, they already proposed the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. So he's trying to find a way to tie that into why African American studies should not be allowed in schools. I just think this is absolutely ridiculous. This is very far-fetched. This is racism at its best. There really is no logical reason for why he's banning it. And so he's trying to find a loophole here. And I'm glad that people are starting to fight back, but there's more in here. It says, when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, yeah, they may be doing CRT. Like, I don't know. It's pretty sad. That's all. I'm gonna let you chime in.
This is okay. So look, this man said when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, yeah, they may be doing CRT, which is critical race theory. Buddy, you don't even know what critical race theory is, man. Dude, I found this phenomenal video that explained critical race theory, like phenomenal video, man. And this lady really like broke it down. Like she's like she really went into, because Dr. DL said it in a previous podcast. It's not even offered on most college camp, like high degree college campuses. And he's like,
Mhm.
you would need like a whole lot of time and dedication to actually even understand it. And the only reason, and it's only called a theory because of, I forget what she said, but it's not a theory. It's just like it's basically saying this is how race factored into the creation of, and racism factored into the creation of the society that we live in, the laws that we are under, like where everything came from originally. And almost everything in this country, newsflash, is from a racist ass place, like super racist. It's honestly quite fascinating. Like I'm like, every time you think you've learned it all, it's like nope. Another thing, guess where that came from? Racism. Like it's like
Mhm.
y'all hated us so much. Like it doesn't even make sense. That
Yeah.
level of hate is unfathomable. And this man,
Yeah.
this man is over here just trying to dodge all this hate. Like he just wants to dodge white accountability. That's what it is. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna start, and that's what I'm
Exactly what
gonna start calling it. That's what I'm gonna start calling it from this point forward. White accountability.
and
He wants to dodge it.
it's crazy because even though we've always had a segment of African American studies in school when we were growing up, it
Mm-hmm,
was only during Black History Month. So we still weren't learning everything. And so
mm-hmm,
you're trying to teach a little bit you're already teaching in the first place. And then um, I've learned more Black history logging on TikTok than I have in school. You know, like
mm-hmm,
there's so much they have covered up and left out of the history books and left out of when you're in history class that aren't in those books. They want to focus on the same 10 people, but
mm-hmm,
there's so much that Black people have done for this country that they want to cover up. They just want us to believe that none of that exists. And that's, I like you said, that's what it comes down to. They want to
mm-hmm.
erase every part of us and say none of it existed and have more white superiority. But like that's not how this works. So it's truly sad.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Hold on, I'm like multitasking at the same time. Like I'm trying to change something because I don't
Oh.
like the way it looks at the same time. Um, but
But yeah, like it also adds to the list of reasons why Florida is just one backward state. They just keep adding on laws that just keeps making me look at them like, what the fuck is going on with y'all?
don't say gay bill is probably the dumbest piece of legislation I've ever heard of. I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
We already repealed don't ask, don't tell. So what more? Why are you trying to fight this? It exists already, okay? Whether you lie to these kids or not, all right? Gay
Hmm.
people aren't going anywhere, all right? And guess
Yeah.
what? Guess what? Them black people that you see every day, they ain't going nowhere either. They're here. That's
Hmm.
it. That's it. Deal with reality. And I feel like that's most like most not okay. Let me phrase this group of people very carefully. Okay, very carefully. There is a segment of the Republican base and party that dodge reality so hard. Okay, like they just are completely aloof. They don't make sense. I've never
Hmm.
seen anything like it. They continue after being disproven millions of times. They deny the election stuff. They don't think January 6th was that bad. I'm like, you can't walk in those. You live in DC. I've been to DC. You can't normally even walk in those buildings, okay, without them expressly saying, "Yo, we're gonna give you a tour." You don't get to just walk in just because you want to. You don't
Hmm.
just go visit Congress just because.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like those places have security for a reason. Like, and now they just want to. I can't. I can't. Like I can't even put together the right sentence because it feels like It feels like we're constantly just repeating ourselves to them, like constantly. Like, yo, this is bad. Stop. Do something else. Stop being stupid. But they're like, nah, we gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying to do this stupid stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
do it again and again and again. Now, to be fair, does the other party have their things that they F up? Yes, absolutely. But your stuff
Mm-hmm.
is just outlandish because it's just a complete denial of reality. The
Mm-hmm.
problem with people on the left side is a lot of them are in their feelings.
Yeah.
They're in their feelings. They get deep into their feelings a lot. That's their problem. They're too emotional. Now, y'all just denying reality, which is completely I can't get behind at all. Like somebody that's emotional, you can sit them down, calm them down, and then eventually they can make a sound decision.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're already irrational, that's like trying to make sense with the Joker. Like Batman, like he just keeps trying. I'm like, no, put a bullet in his head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Joker was that bad. I'm talking about the Joker, not y'all. The Joker, not y'all. Okay. I'm not saying put y'all down. I know how y'all get. Like, I don't want to get misclipped. But at the same time, um, y'all just need to try. Y'all just need to try to just not. Okay. Just try to not. Or at least pick up some class. Pick up some class like your old Republicans. Do it in a subversive way. Like I at least I respected them because they just tried to slide it in there. You know what I'm saying? They're sliding in there like page 89 of the bill. What is this? Ah, damn it, you got us. Like, that's how they used to move. They would slide it in there. Like y'all like, nah, we doing this right now. Like, no, nobody's going for that. Man, and I'm really hoping and praying like y'all gonna eventually y'all gonna end up losing y'all majority in the Supreme Court because y'all people most of them gonna die off. The old heads they gonna die off, but the young cats that y'all put in there, all right, y'all stole a couple seats from Obama, y'all got it off, whatever. But y'all gonna lose y'all majority, and the y'all gonna cause something to happen to where the pendulum's gonna shift again, and y'all gonna be even more upset. Like, stop provoking the bear. Stop poking people. Let people just live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I said a whole lot. I said a whole lot. I didn't even mean to say all that. So, but what else you got though? Like, what else? You got anything else to add?
Um, I'm glad that Black leaders are fighting back. I'm not sure if I've seen any like petitions or anything like that, but if I see those, I will sign them. That's doing my part as a citizen. But yeah, I think a lot of people need to be aware of what's going on, and because like this person could potentially run for president, and that's pretty scary that a person who's trying to wipe out African American studies in Florida could run for president. Imagine what he'll try to do to the entire country. And we can't say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's not possible because we saw this country let Donald Trump be president. So anything is possible at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
Pandora's
I,
box that's open.
yeah, think people just need to be aware of what's going on, do their part to fight this back. If you live in Florida, do your part to see if you can stop this from happening. Do your research, keep up with it. There's only so much because I know this is a state level thing, so it's not much we can do in other states. But if you're in Florida, do whatever you can to make sure he doesn't go through with this.
Man, do everything you can when he comes up for re-election that he loses finally. Because my goodness, he been governor for like
Yeah,
forever. He
yeah,
been governor forever. Like, do governors have a term limit? I hope they do. I really hope they do in Florida. I really hope they do. Because man, I
yeah,
think for Arkansas it was 3 terms, and that was it. I pray it's the same for y'all because this is
right.
ridiculous. Like, get y'all somebody new in there. Um, but anyway, we're going to pivot to our next topic. We're gonna pivot to our next topic, but we're gonna pivot to our next topic after this.
Hey, if you're someone that craves vibes when it comes to music, like I do, you need to check out Rose Petals. Rose Petals is a 12-track R&B album by yours truly, Fair Michelle, and it just dropped. It's available right now on all major digital outlets. I'm personally inviting you to come and vibe with me through music. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the home team, the Kosher Sound, and you already know we're supporting and watching Homeroom with Smooth. Let's go.
All right. So the link to her album and stuff is in the bio.
You got commercials now? Let me find out. You got whole commercials now?
I've been asking people. I've been asking people because I was like, yo, I seen an opportunity where commercials could fit. And I was like, hey.
Oh, I would like to submit a commercial. I want to submit a commercial for my business.
Yes. I've been telling people. I keep saying it. I've been saying it for a long time. Y'all don't be listening to me, man.
No, it didn't. Maybe it didn't process, but seeing it now, it makes sense. I'm going to submit my commercial. Okay.
Bet. I'm gonna get you locked in. I keep telling people this. I keep telling people this. We moving out there. We're moving on up. Okay. Now,
all right. Part of this
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Char. You got it.
All right. So I just want to start off by saying, you know how movies and shows will put a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen. Disclaimer, I do not find any of what I'm about to say funny or anything to be played with. I think it's a very serious matter, and there are a lot of people going through this. With that being said, for those of you who are familiar with Chrisean Rock, she's a rapper / reality TV star who has, she's a rapper. Look up her stuff. She
got like she got a song. She has
multiple songs, actually. She has multiple songs.
Yo, I'm out.
She's the girlfriend of Blueface Baby, who is a West Coast rapper. And they have been in and out of the news all year. Well, I should say all 2022 and this year. They're a very toxic couple, I'll say. For those of you who don't know who they are. I like to call them the new generation Whitney and Bobby. Like it's always something new. They always seem like they're breaking up and then they get back together. It's a lot. They're always in the shade room. They be beating each other up. It's wild. So recently, Chrisean, she's an open book. So she always sharing what's going on with her. Like you can go on her Twitter and pretty much read her whole life in 5 minutes. But she has had quite a few abortions. Now I do want to say, I feel very sorry for her because I can tell that she's like a lost soul who is looking for the love that she did not receive in Blueface Baby. And I believe that her attachment style allows her to be very blind to what's actually happening to her. I personally believe, from what I see, she's very brainwashed. And whatever he has whatever control he has over her, it has her believing that she has to be loyal to this man to a fault. This man has dragged her publicly multiple times on the internet, and she keeps saying she's leaving and go back to him. He has beat her silly to the point where like it's clearly domestic violence going on, but on both sides, I will say both sides, she's beat him silly too. But it's very sad.
Henny bottle, man.
Huh?
She hit that man with a Henny bottle.
It's very, and if you ever see like clips of them, whether it's on social media, I tried to watch their new reality show. I couldn't do it. I watched one and a half episodes. I say 1.5 because I watched the first episode. I don't understand what either one of them are talking about because they don't pronounce their words. So it just sounded like a bunch of mumbling. So I fast forwarded because there was a scene, or episode 2 is where she finally takes him to meet her family, and shit hits the fan, which you get to see that she comes from a very, she has a very toxic family. However, she's the baby of the family, so I can understand bits and pieces of what went down. They were being very protective of her and told him to stop putting his hands on her, and I understood. But anyways, my point is, if you watch any clips of them, whether it's the reality show, YouTube videos, Instagram videos, she's very, 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 very attached to this man to the point where like it's like nobody else exists, right? And so I've seen interviews with them, and they'd be in the middle of the interview, and then she just starts slapping him down in the middle of the interview, and like sitting on and like straddling him. It's like, sis, y'all are at a professional interview. You can just wait, you know what I'm saying? So now we got the backstory out of the way. Recently, she announced that she was pregnant with his baby. Now, she has opened up in the past that she has repeatedly been pregnant by this man and keeps getting abortions. This time, she decides she does not want to get an abortion anymore. And so she goes on Twitter, and I guess it's his birthday, and she says, "Happy birthday, baby daddy." And everybody's like, "Oh shit, you're pregnant." And she posts like Instagram videos of her at the hospital, you know, pretty much like very emotional and like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to keep the baby this time. I hope I have twins and triplets." And like, meanwhile, while she's expressing her excitement for this baby, Blueface baby, on the other hand, is denying the baby is his. He's all over Twitter talking about some, yes, our relationship ended. It's been over. He was like, "She's been with 10 men this year. That baby ain't mine." He was like, "It's sad. I thought she loved me, y'all, but clearly she didn't." Like, he's clearly manipulating her and dragging her on the internet and making it seem like I'm gonna raise this baby and how, you know, like, it's obviously like, and while he's saying all this stuff, she is like tweeting and she's like, "Oh, if you, I don't need you to raise my baby. I'm gonna raise the baby by myself, but you can't be in a baby's life." And it's just toxic, right? So they do all this back and forth to wake up in the morning and she back at his house again. So it's obviously a cycle. Yeah, exactly. So this man dragged you, denied this man his baby, accused you of being with 10 men this year, said he ain't raising the baby, and you went back to him. And so the next morning, she posts a picture of like his birthday cake, pretty much letting people know, "I ain't going nowhere. I ain't lost." And then she posted like a Instagram story of her, like, he's stabbing the cake with a knife. Like, it's wild, y'all. My point for bringing it up is it's just very sad to watch this lost soul be so attached to this man, and I really want her to, and I know she's only 22. She's very young. She, you know, she has time to get it right, but it's not looking too high. Especially now she talks, and I feel like she might be keeping this baby, but she feels like it's gonna keep him around, and like he ain't gonna go nowhere.
Okay, I want to say this just to that one point. No, she does not have time. Okay, I've seen younger women die over this. I've seen younger women in these situations die over this. Like, so no, she does not have more time. Like, she needs to, if the abuse is as bad as it seems to all of us watching, why haven't you left? Like leave. I was trying to add you in, bro.
Oh, I was just waiting until this thing was over.
Oh no. This is the second topic.
Yeah. So I do want to add to what you just said. They say it takes domestic violence victims 7 times before they finally leave their abuser. I mean, you do the math. It might take her a while, but like you said, prayerfully she makes it out alive, because I really want to bring up the fact that their generation is rather interesting, because, you know, we I think we're considered millennials, right? I think they're Gen Z or whatever they call it. It's like they glorify what they're doing. And so I'll be on the internet and see these young kids like, "Oh, people just don't understand, y'all. This is real love. I understand how," you know, no, this is not okay. Yeah. And so when you have a lot of supporters who are just going along with this and telling you it's okay and you just love hard and all this stuff, like, it's very hard to watch. Like, it's like nobody is really, although I will say when he got locked up, people were like, "This is your sign. Like, you need to get away from this man, run, go the other direction." And she came and released videos like, "I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm sticking with him to the end. I'm about to go get him out of jail." Like, It's really sad.
The end is gonna be her in a grave.
Yeah.
I will say that it's not just the Gen Z thing. I mean, we have millennials that do that, and even Gen Xers, you know, and Zennials. That there's always someone that goes against the grain, and people they keep people around to say what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. So I think it's just more prevalent. Because like as you said, Gen Z are, you know, younger millennials and Gen Z, since they put everything out there, out there, so it's more prevalent to get support from people that you don't want to hear it from. But I mean, like even with us, but you know, and that's me because I guess I'm an older Gen Xer, or sorry, I'm an older millennial. Is that you know it was AOL message boards, chat rooms, and freaking and forums where people were. I have this issue, and you know, people they would go through the comments and like, oh, well, this person supports me, and they would ignore 8,000 comments that didn't support them.
Yeah, I hear you. And I just want to add that like when she came out with the news that she was keeping this baby, like I didn't know what to say. I was like, you're really stuck with this man now. Now you are really she better pray that he don't do nothing to make her lose this baby.
So here's my thing. One, she announced the baby. The next night I seen her, she was in the club drinking. Okay. Now look, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Even during her interview, she did an interview, right, with the therapist or whatever, right? She said something really key to me. Like, because she was like, oh, this interview is making me uncomfortable. Like, it's a segment in there. Like, if you watch the clip, she's like, oh, this interview is making me very uncomfortable and all this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's making me uncomfortable. She's like, and he's like, no, and the therapist is like, no, look at him and say what you're saying to me about how you feel. She's like, no. And like, I'd rather just drink. And that's how the clip ends. And I'm like, there it is. I'm like, that's your problem. That's your problem. Drugs, alcohol, you're using it to basically to
numb the pain,
numb the pain and numb what you're going through. So you're not actually thinking rationally, because rationally in your head, you hear yourself telling yourself, you need to leave. You need to get up out of this. This ain't right. This ain't good. But the part of you that stays and has fun is, oh, if I drink, I'll feel better and everything will go away. And I can just think about the good times and maybe we can have a good time. And if I just keep drinking and I just keep having sex with him and I just keep doing the things that he wants and I just keep doing like X, Y, and Z, like I will fulfill him and then he will want me and then we can be together and we can be happy and everything will be okay. No, it won't, because at the end of the day, in the way that he releases the footage and all that, it's very orchestrated. Like he is manipulating you to look terrible. Okay. I'm not of the camp that, oh my God, Chrisean is just this crazy girl that always beats up on Blueface. No, that's what it looks like on the outside. That's how he has it framed. But I'm well aware that yes, he is an abuser. Textbook. He's just super manipulative. You know what I'm saying? But the clip's always cut before he manipulates, or it's after he manipulates. It's always there. It's always there. But go ahead, Frankie.
No, I think you hit it on the head, because it's not so much about people don't want to feel uncomfortable, and it sounds like something that I have noticed, especially with younger people, but we still see it in older people as well too. There's a lot of people who don't like confrontation, and it's because of confrontation, and they're afraid of retaliation. So I know people who they'll 100% be in the right, but they're afraid of the retaliation. And that's what it is, because now it's on social media. Because right now, and I will say this with a lot of younger people, even though, and like, you know me, everybody has a platform. That's what I say now. That's a good thing about social media. Everybody has a platform, but the people they're afraid about the damage of their platform, because unfortunately now that's how people connect, and they know everything through social media. So if someone's gonna slander you online, and we always say the internet's undefeated, people, they're really, really afraid of that. So even though she's like, I think she feels that, hey, I'm in the right, I should do this, she's drinking, because rather than deal with the fallout and maybe losing people and looking like you said, looking like a crazy person, she rather just drink, try to placate him, and that's easier to do damage control because it's easier to do that than the fear, like, you know, the fear of just rebuilding everything and dealing with the slander and too. And I know like a lot of people that are like that, men and women too, because they're afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of other factors here. One, the worst thing they could have ever done was come out with this reality show, because now I'm sure that adds a piece to it. Like, oh, we got this show together. Like, I gotta put on face. I gotta make it look like we're just adding drama for the show, because that is literally the word. And Natalie Dunn is a producer of the show, so I'm partly blaming her, because you can tell that. And for those of you who all don't know, that's like the Bad Girls Club. I feel like she uses Chrisean for money. Like, she knows that Chrisean has a way with people, and it's like ever since she has had her on her new little baddie show, she saw opportunity to make this show. And I don't think she should have done that at all. That was the worst thing you could have done for a domestic violence victim. And then you add too. I really, like I said, even though her family was very toxic, I watched this one episode because I kept hearing a lot about it all over the internet. And he shows up to meet her family, and her family basically don't want to meet him because everything they've been seeing all over the social media and the news. They're like, no, you've been hitting our baby girl. Like, you've been hitting her. We have no desire to meet you. And so her brother like steps to him like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you've been putting your hands on my sister and stuff. And he denies everything and puts it all on Chrisean. Like, well, what would you do if a woman hits you? You saying she's not in the wrong? Like, it's wild, right? And so he meets the rest of her family, and all of them like gang up on him and step to him, as you should, as my family, you should. But she kept protecting him the whole time. Like, what are y'all doing? Calm down. It shouldn't be like this. And they're like, no, because he needs to stop putting his hands on you. He needs to put his hand. And I'm like, yeah, you're damn right. You need to. Granted, like, her family is already not right in the head, but protecting your family is what you do. And he needed to hear that shit. And he was trying to fight all her family members. That right there should have been a sign. But after this episode, because they always post a clip or whatever on their social media pages, I'm looking at the comments, and everybody's saying that the family was wrong. They shouldn't have stepped to him like that. I'm sorry, what? Did y'all watch the same thing I watched? Because if you better be damn sure. If you hit me and I introduce you to my father, he's definitely not gonna have some nice words for you. 100%.
My only thing I want to say really quick is, one, to profit off domestic abuse should be like the running thing. Like, is it okay to profit off of domestic abuse? That should be the number one question. Is that okay?
It's not,
like,
and that's why
real life domestic abuse, is that okay?
That's why
where we at as a society to where we allow that to happen. That's one. And then two, I honestly feel like this might have been the best thing that can happen, because when she watches it back, she's gonna have to watch this back. She's gonna have to see it. And to actually no, because to live it is one thing. To live it is one thing. To actually see yourself going through it and see yourself being, I think once she actually really sits down and sees herself sober, after she gets the help that she needs, and she sees herself sober.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that, but I don't think she's gonna watch it back. Only because if you talk to a lot of actors and everything, a lot of times they don't watch their shows back. A lot of reality stars, they don't watch their shows back. And I was listening to a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, and he was on Smallville. And I think it took him over 10, 15 years to actually start watching the show back. And guess what? He's doing it for a profit because he's doing it for a podcast.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you that like, it'll be good for her if she actually watched it and see it. And honestly, I'd want her to. I'm hoping the best case scenario is that with some of the extra footage they have, they catch something, and someone's able to step up and be like, we need to shut this down. Because I forgot what show it was. They were doing like a documentary on this murder with this guy that was supposed to be accused of it. So they're doing like a special on him. and they interviewed everything too. And then I think what happened was he forgot there was a hot mic, and he was in the restroom. And after they started filming everything, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like I killed her good, and no one's ever gonna know like that too." And they caught him off of that. So I wish I knew the guy's name off the head, off my head, so I could do that.
What?
But I'm hoping something like that happens, so then someone else is able to step in and kill it, because that seems to be the best for her as right now, because of whatever reason she can't make the best decision for her.
Yeah, but they've already recorded the shows because it comes on a streaming app, so it's already recorded. Like it's too late, right?
That would be
ideal.
No, I mean no, because even with this person, like they waited to like because the show's already done like that too, and they were going back to do something else too, and they found the extra, and they found this extra footage. Pretty much
within the edit, like when you go back to do like that extended special, that deleted scenes type stuff, and you go to put that together, and somebody goes, hey, come here, Jim from accounting, come here, look at this. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yeah.
So to understand, I get what you're saying, but the creator of Zeus Network, I can't remember his name right now, and
the devil.
Natalie Nunn, they are the type of people who literally do anything for money. And I have watched a few out of their shows, and they're all very ratchet. It's a bunch of fighting. It's a bunch of toxicity. So unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Now, if it was on a major network, maybe, but the fact that it's on this Zeus app, the chances are very slim.
I agree with that too. I'm saying I'm just hoping, because I said I'm not sure. Like, I have no dog really in the fight, and I guess like for the other people who like say like certain things too, about how it is, because I know everybody has their own opinion about how certain things happen and how the person's family should, how her family should step up to an alleged abuser, and everything as well too. And I get the people kind of defending him as well, saying like the family was wrong. Like I said, I haven't seen it at all, but I do understand how people have different opinions about it, which is really, really I don't know. I just wish that she could make the best decision for her, and I guess back up and see everything, because it just I don't know, because we're talking about abusers. It takes 7 times. It takes a cycle for what they're doing. It's stuff that they're used to. Sometimes it's like they feel like they're doing something wrong, and so like honestly, I wish we could get in her head if like what makes you go back, and what do you feel to make you think that this is okay, or that
she has already. It was one time she said she's stigmatized. Honestly, she said that. She was like he has really good dick. Like she said that one time, and
but it's not just it's something. It's something else too. Like
I have seen people say. Sorry, I want to say one more thing. I have seen people say that because, like I said, she's a rapper, and when they met, she was homeless. And he gave her an opportunity to come live in his house. He had like his own little Bad Girls Club in his house.
Yeah.
And she came on the cast. And while she was on that cast living in his house, they got closer. And so basically she had nowhere to live, nowhere to stay. He used that as a way for her to stay with him. And then before you know it, she was coming out with music. And so people are saying they feel like she's under some kind of contract with him where she can't leave. Like the contract, like that people say that all of her funds that she's making is going to him. So I don't know how true this is, but I can see that being one of the cases.
It could be that, or like maybe she just feels like that. Hey, like he got me at my worst, so I should defend him at his worst as well too. It could, and because it could be as simple as, hey, she thinks like she owes him, and in I'm not saying this is true, but I'm saying like in some sort of way, like she does, but that does not give him the right to treat her like shit and beat her and everything else too. And I think sometimes people, they have to realize that just because someone helped you out doesn't mean they could treat you like shit.
Yeah.
Let me think for a hot second, because Chrisean, if you end up somehow watching this, look, take a month, okay? Take just a solid 30-day trunk, okay? go somewhere and just be there. Okay, because she's saying she makes money outside of that. She's saying no. This her words, not mine.
I'm not making a face of that. I'm saying she ain't leaving that man. She's not leaving him.
I know. But look, just try it for 30 days. Just try it for 30 days. Just sit to yourself. You're young, okay? You're young. I know this advice is gonna fall on deaf ears, but I don't care. You're young. You're young. There's more to life than this. There's more to life than this. You are Listen, Chrisean, you're bigger than Blueface, okay? You have the capacity to actually like supersede him, like way past that, and he knows it. Okay, that's why he's that manipulative. That's why he's that manipulative with you. You make him. He doesn't make you.
Yes,
like that pendulum has shifted a long time ago. A long time ago. So you make him. So
he's definitely jealous. His rap career has plummeted. She has more followers than him. She's more likable than he is. Like he's definitely jealous. And honestly, I see a lot of potential in her, but it's going to waste. But I see she really can go very far as long as she separates herself from him. I really do see that a lot. Huh?
She wants twins.
Yeah, she said to make up for the babies that she killed. But
oh gosh,
she said twins or triplets actually. But I see a lot of, I don't know. To me, for what I see as someone who's wiser and older, I see a huge light in this girl, and I see she has a way with people, right? And she's, she can get a following, and she has a genuine side to her, but it's being overshadowed by all this toxicity, and we're not getting the real version of her. There's a mask on right now, and she's being toyed with, like the Muppet shows. Like he has the strings and doing this, and like she's not really herself right now. But once she breaks free from that, man, there's so much.
Listen. I'm not for like people being like forced by the government to separate, but legally, the government needs to intervene. Okay, like government intervention, somebody intervention, and just keep them apart, like worlds apart. Okay, keep them apart for as long as you humanly possibly can. Okay, like just keep them apart, and then after acclimating to your new life, Chrisean, after acclimating to your new life. If somehow you still want to go back to that, that's effing fine. That's effing fine. It's not okay. It's not fine. But I know. Look, I know she's not gonna leave him. But like I feel like if this was like my sibling or family member or anything like that, a friend or whatever, I would tell them to leave. I would tell them the same exact thing. Leave. Like go smell the roses. Go look at nature. Go look at go sightseeing. Buy a bunch of plane tickets and just go see this. Just go somewhere and stay gone for a while. Just for a while. Just long enough for your rationale, your senses to kick in. Honestly, she should go to rehab for alcoholism. I think that would work. I think that would work wonders for her because I really feel like it's drugs and alcohol. I can't confirm if she does any other drugs. She just always mentions drinking.
She's not doing anything that's going to keep her too long from that man.
Maybe. Well, okay. So looking in on this guy, maybe she's just afraid for her life.
I mean that too, yeah.
Because I'm looking at his rap sheet. I mean, 2022, he was arrested for Vegas for attempted murder. Was it 20?
That's what she bailed him out for attempt.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that. So he's an amateur fighter. 2018. He has a gun. So he was on bail. He was on bail in 2018. For shooting at a gun. 2019 felony gun possession. Unregistered, locked and loaded.
How is he not in jail?
I'm gonna put it to you jail because he has money. But I'm gonna put it to you this way. She from Baltimore, and I'm pretty sure looking at her family, she got some murderers in her family. Okay, so that ain't it.
This is what she said for a fact. For a fact, she said her father used to abuse her mother. He took her out into the woods. He would take her out into the woods, tie her to a tree, and then beat her. Like he just take her out into the woods, tie her to a tree, and beat her.
It's a repeated cycle. There's one story she shares where like her dad is strangling her mother, and she's screaming so loud. She comes and she like knocks down the door, and they don't know what the fuck to do because their dad is literally trying to strangle their mother to death. Like it's a repeated cycle. Unfortunately, that's what she's going through right now.
Because it's normal for her.
Yes.
For a lack of a better term, like that's what a relationship is.
This is her generational curse. And yeah. I'm gonna be just keep it a band. I know people don't like doom and gloom. She gonna fucking die over this shit. Like if she don't get course correct, she's gonna fucking die over this shit. Well, if it's not Blueface, it's gonna be the next dude. Because it typically what happens is women that pick abusers tend to pick more abusers. Yeah, they tend to fall in love with those traits. So I'm just saying. I'm not
gonna wish death on her. I'm gonna pray.
I don't wish death on her. I'm just keeping it a band. Like people don't say that no more. People don't keep it a band with people. I've seen enough people die over that. I literally know a woman that stayed with the dude no matter what anybody said. I said it, other people said it, no matter what, she's rocked with him. And she's dead because of it.
Yeah.
Her child is growing up with her grandmother now. Because she died from the abuser. And the person that abused her, he's in jail for life now. That's it. That's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. Now the child story is, I grew up with my grandmother my whole life because my mother is gone. And it's to a point, the child don't even remember you, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and the thing is, what you're getting out of things now, those people that are supporting you, those yes people, they're going to forget about you. The only people that are going to remember you are the people that actually care about you. And even then, you're going to be a fleeting moment. People are just going to remember you on anniversaries. Is that how you want to be remembered? Nobody's going to be watching the Zeus network. This app is going to be gone.
Yeah.
That app is going to be gone. Nobody's going to be watching that. Nobody's going to be listening to your rap songs. Nobody's going to be watching those YouTube videos. Bluetooth is going to be fucking irrelevant as hell. And now what?
I mean, I agree. I think this is all great advice. All I can say from here is I hope that she gets out before it's too late. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Frankie,
why was she arrested by the U.S. Marshals?
Say what?
Huh?
Why was she arrested by the U.S. Marshals?
Because he called the cops on her. Okay. Oh yeah, they got a lot of history. Like it was one time she stole his car and drove from LA to Baltimore, and he called the cops on her, and they arrested her for stealing his car. And she had cut herself with glass and wrote on his walls with blood, "I love you, I'm never leaving you," or something like that. It's wild. It's a lot.
Yeah, no, keep this shit. Hey, look. On another note, keep this shit as far away from me as fucking possible. Does anybody have anything else to add? Cause that lasts for that. Oh my god,
that's
like a scary movie shit.
Yeah. So since I can't remember if it was him who. No, she had to serve some time. I don't remember how long it was, but like.
Yeah, but this is drugs. But she got arrested by the U.S. Marshals, not even just police, the U.S. Marshals.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay, look, because I'm not doing. Okay, look, y'all. I'm not doing another. I'm not doing another shooting video, right? Okay, hold on. Let me.
For Monterey Park.
No. This is a whole nother one. Hold on. Okay, so look, I just want to say to the 7. Okay, the suspect.
Oh shit.
Yes. So seven. So look. Hold on. Real quick. One
No.
one more thing before we transition to this, and then we're getting up out of here.
What's up, guys? My name is Megan, and I help people move to China. If you like free health care, free transportation, and a free place to stay, and also traveling abroad, hit me up. My name is Megan, and I'm rocking with Homeroom with Smooth.
Look, y'all go check out Megan. Her link is in the bio. Listen, so look, 7 people are confirmed dead following a shooting in Half Moon Bay, California. The suspect is a man named, I'm not giving him no props or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, they got him in custody. They actually arrested this guy. He shot at least 4 people. At least 4 people shot and killed on a farm along Highway 92, about a mile and a half east of Main Street. Yeah.
Oh man. That's scary. I just came up from there today. Up north. And I know my one of my best friends his dad actually lives up there too. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I have no idea. At least this one.
It's a mushroom farm and a trucking firm.
Yeah. So I don't know the details of this one. So that will be breaking in more when it comes out. I don't know what's up with.
And no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. So look, man, y'all be safe out here. Pay attention to your surroundings. I don't have anything else to add, really. I just wanted to say that right here at the end of this video and this audio, because I'm not covering that. I already did 2 shootings today. Like, because there's the Des Moines, Iowa that happened. There's the Monterey Park that happened earlier on Saturday, and then this right now. That's the second time I've been recording today and got interrupted by a shooting. The second time today. And it was while covering something else. And then another one happened, and another one happens. And we're at the point where we got to take action some type of way. Something got to give. Because this is in the same day. In the same day. This is two within a week in the same state. The other one was at a school after school program. Well, during school program. It was a during school program because it happened around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. their time.
Yeah.
So I just yeah.
I mean,
thoughts and prayers don't cut it, man.
It's disturbing. And we have no idea what's going on with this one, but I'm trying to figure out why people are so intolerant and that they feel like they have to go ahead and kill other people, especially when it seems to be. And I'm not allowing any shooting, but when it's clear and cut and you can make sense of it, that's one thing. But like this is like indiscriminate and it makes no sense, and I think that's the scary part about it, because it's we have no reason why. So we have no reason to help, and it seems like clamping on certain things just doesn't, like I said, doesn't cut it. Like it really doesn't. And now it seems like there's no. I guess it's a mental health thing now too, and then tolerance, because if I have to go, and this is me talking on me out of a limb, so I might even these thoughts are Frankie's, that they don't reflect Smooth or Shar or anything. I think we're just coming to it because of the presidency of that preceded it, where it just I'm not going to say allowed people to be intolerant. It kind of normalized it and made it a thing. So people feel like they could do it, and now it's coming out like and it sucks because now we're doing like another shooting. So people are just getting numb, and now it feels like it's something that's going to happen, and then we just allow it to happen, and we normalize it, and by normalizing it, we're allowing it to happen. And I think, and I'm not just saying it was just because of like the last presidency, but I feel like these older people, they feel like it's okay, because even like the Monterey Park, the guy was 72 years old. A couple ones in LA, you see these people, they're 68, they're in their 50s, they're in their 60s too. So it seems like people who can't cope with this new generation and acceptance. And we say it other ways, and I know every generation says it, like, this generation is too soft, this generation, they allow this, we're allowing too many things, and they feel like acceptance threatens their way of life, and I figure they have to do it, and we're not really watching out for those people. And I think that's just the scary part about it. And I mean, unfortunately, like we see it at work, and there's signs everywhere too. Like there was a guy I was working with beforehand, and I kind of looked up to him, taught me a lot of stuff at work. And then 5 years ago, he just came out and was like blatantly racist and everything too. And unfortunately, people were like, "Oh, that's just him." They're like, "That's just Resh. That's just what he does." And I'm like, "No." So and now it sucks, because if he was one of the guys that did this, the sad thing is that it wouldn't surprise me. But there's not enough people who will step up and say that that's wrong. They just allow people to do it. And I think that's on this long soliloquy. I think that's part of the problem. So it doesn't matter about how much gun control we do, how much, because unfortunately, they're going to find a way to hurt people and kill people, especially if a lot of people allow it to happen by not saying what you're doing is wrong, and your thought process is wrong, or to explain how, and like the weirdest thing, like with gender neutral terms, I'm like, how does this hurt you? Because sometimes, do I think it's ridiculous? Sometimes, yes, like me, because people want he, she, they, where they put them like on every name tag. Because I'm a right, and maybe my thinking's wrong too. I'm a firm belief is that unless and yourself, unless people are ambiguous by looking at you, I don't need to have a he, him name tag, because it's what I look like. There's no surprise. If you want to change your terms, and so you put them on your tag, that is fine too. But also, me calling you they doesn't hurt me. It doesn't change my bank account. It doesn't take away. It doesn't take food off my plate. Every once in a while, when I'm talking about something, I might have to change, like, and correct myself. So it's not even a minor inconvenience. It's it's like, oh, okay, I messed up. Sorry. And people, they take that, and that's a small example. And people take that way too far. And I think the outrage goes into this. And I know people, they're upset about, the people that get upset about Christmas, because I know people talk about holiday parties. They're like, no, it's Christmas. And now Lunar New Year, they're like, why are we? And because it's when it's a Lunar New Year attack, and people like, because they're getting upset because they have to accept other people's cultures, and people get mad, and people go with them, so instead of just saying, hey man, it doesn't matter, how does this hurt you? They're like, oh yeah, that's stupid, this and that too. They're not understanding, and they're not inclusive, and this shit happens. That's my rant. I'm sorry. That's just honestly how I feel, and that's my my 30 plus years of life seeing this. Because I said I'm an older Gen Xer, so I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of seeing it both ways. So I'm old enough to say, like, oh, these new generations, like, they're doing some things that are kind of weird and out of pocket. But I'm young enough to realize like, this doesn't affect me. If someone wants to be non-binary, non-this, non-that, go things, and other people, they just don't take it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. What? Ooh, okay. Shit, man. All right. So
Sorry.
that guy. No, you're fine. That guy. The Monterey thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was allegedly he was attending the dance class. Okay. Because it's a dance class for older people.
Mm-hmm.
He thought the instructor was making fun of him, so he came back and killed everybody. Yeah. That's that thing.
But then he also went to another dance class too, and so it's like
that's that. That's one thing. Alleged. I
yeah.
just want to throw that out there. But regardless, as you heard the reasoning, fucking stupid.
No, exactly, and
Okay,
it's like
I was saying it, Marshall, for them, not you.
yeah.
No,
No, I'm saying it hurts because that's what we. And I know we hit about it beforehand about like toxic masculinity and shit like that too. And I mean, I think people use it as a term to be like, oh, this is that. And I think part of it is too. And I know we see it all the time. And I talk to people as well too. And I know like it was weird because I was talking to somebody and we were talking about just guys and their feelings, right?
Yeah.
And someone's like, "Oh, it's a red flag if a guy's emotional." I'm like, "No, it's not a red flag if it's emotional. It depends on what they're doing." But as guys, unfortunately, a lot of times we're taught not to talk about feelings or deal with feelings, and shit like this happens. So instead of saying, "Hey, man, like that's not cool," and then other people are like, "Oh, well," and they're like, "Man up." It's like, no, it's like if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. And the thing is too, like, because we're taught fucking, oh, to solve a problem, kick someone's ass, and then people can't. Like they're gonna find a way to kick someone's ass, whether it's you picking up a freaking a knife, a chair to hit someone over the back of the head, a skateboard, or a fucking gun. And I think that's needs to stop, and I think that's probably epitomized toxic masculinity. If the reason what you're saying is true, where it's like, oh, I'm getting made fun of, so I'm putting a stop to it. Because one, it's like he wasn't able to articulate, hey man, that's not cool. And if he did, and the instructor was an asshole about it too, again, the instructor is just as much as fault. And I think it goes into the stuff with these shootings in schools too, when a kid gets pushed to the brink. Because that was Columbine and everything too. It's like, oh, we're making fun of these kids, or we're doing this, we're doing that, and like I'm not justifying it, but it's kind of it gets to a point where it's like, what do you expect? It's like treat people better, and you have no reason to be shot at, and no one deserves to be shot at. So I'm not saying the kids ask for it, but it's like like parents need to teach their children to treat people better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Y'all. I don't have anything else. This is been episode 189 of the Homeroom with Smooth podcast. Call your people, tell them that you love them, love on people, but don't be too afraid to apologize for when you were wrong to people, and let's just try and love each other, man. I'm up out of here.